It was great. I got nothing else to do right now, so, you know.
I'm with you, George.
Do we have a quorum? Do we have a quorum?
Sorry,
Another
Danny.
cat.
All right, we're live.
Okay. So roll call. I'm gonna have to do this as I see you all. Manny Langella? Is that me that has
Yeah.
to do this?
What's that?
Okay,
Here.
Mary's here. Tom Keegan,
Here.
George Sirenides?
Oh, perfect. Here.
I said it right?
Perfect.
Kadeem Roberts,
Present.
David Hebelman is here.
I am here. I'm not on the committee, but I am here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm here. So who's missing?
John Coyotes.
Kites is here.
Coyotes is here.
Okay.
And George Theory.
Yes.
Oh, George is here. George is here?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So now, sorry, this is going to go back and forth. So we need approval of the March 11 minutes. Or motion to approve. Don't you want to do it?
So moved.
Oh. Who's that?
George?
Okay.
The ball.
George. The ball, George?
This George.
Okay.
That didn't sum it down at all.
I got that. All right. All in favor?
Hi.
All right.
Opposed, abstentions, okay. All right. Who's that? Is that someone clicking in?
No. It's my
no.
phone, sorry.
It's okay. So, do we have anyone, is this right, for public participation? Larry?
No, there are no attendees.
And
Nobody?
I have nothing via email or any other record.
Perfect. Who was that?
I have nothing as far as email to put into the record.
Perfect. All right, so we'll move on to new business. So authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute an amendment to Atlas Pyrovision Entertainment Group, Inc. for the annual fireworks display to extend their contract to include the July 3rd, 2021, with a rain date of July 5th, 2021, and July 3rd, 2022, with a rain date of July 5th, 2022. Display for a sum not to exceed $43,500 for each year. All remaining terms of the agreement to remain unchanged. Account number noted. Have someone move it?
Move.
John will move it.
Okay.
Second.
So any second by Manny, any, did you get that?
Don't need seconds.
I didn't think, okay. So it's been moved. Any discussion or, Nick, you
Yeah,
wanted to?
I'll speak to it. So this is the contract for our annual fireworks show, 4th of July fireworks show. This is the sole company within the metro state area as far as a fireworks provider. So all of the municipalities around us who do shows also go through this one particular company, and we have to secure the date as quickly as possible. They were on a prior 5-year agreement, and this is an extension for 2 additional years at the current rate that we've been paying. So we're asking to actually, move ahead with this item because we're trying to get it scheduled and a hold on the barge and the fireworks for the 3rd. So that's why you're seeing it on the agenda at this point in time.
Okay. Any questions?
So Nick, are they honoring the same, oh, sorry, me.
No. Okay.
Are they honoring the same price for that extension or?
Yes, they're honoring the same price that we paid for the previous I believe 3 or 5 years of the previous contract, but no change in the terms. And with the cancellation this year, we did not have to pay any penalty fees or cancellation fees. So it's a good agreement. They're the same provider that does the shows and all around us from Westport to Stanford. So it's a good agreement. Terms stay the same, and they've been good to us in the last few years.
That's actually fantastic that they're not charging for cancellation, even though it's a pandemic. I know a lot of companies have been trying to reach, so that's very admirable of them.
Yeah, I mean, considering there's 5 municipalities around us who do fireworks shows, and at a cost of $43,000, they're taking a huge loss. But they did not force us to make the payment or have any cancellation clause in the contract. So it's a good deal for the city.
And Nick, this is for the next upcoming years, or does it come?
Yes, this is 2021 and 2022.
So with this year being the pandemic, have we been charged or?
No, that's what I was saying, that there's no cancellation fee for us canceling the show this year. We even thought about maybe even pushing it back to Labor Day, but that's also the same weekend that we're scheduled to have the Oyster Fest. And we still don't think that we're going to be able to do social gatherings or groups, in excess. Fireworks show attracts almost 12, 15,000 people. So there's no way that we'll be able to do an event that large this year. So we've gone ahead and cancel it. And again, didn't have to pay any cancellation fees, and we want to renew it and save the date next year as well, or next 2 years.
Okay. Any other comments?
No comments.
No, everybody's okay? So a motion to approve the item? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. You said aye, John?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're frozen on my screen. I think I'm frozen. Okay. So Tom? I didn't hear.
Yes, yeah,
You're a yes. I'd rather do it that way. Manny?
Aye.
John Kides was?
Yes.
George Sirenides?
Yes.
Kadeem?
Aye.
And George?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. It's unanimous. I see discussion. I don't know if we've got anything really to discuss other than how quick this was.
No, the agenda is really short because, again, at this point, given the circumstances, we are not permitting any new events.
Yep.
The first priority is to reschedule all of the old dates that have been already booked. So they will get first preference before we even start to book new events. And again, we still don't know how far out those activities and events are going to be canceled. Right now, they're canceled through July 5th, but we still have to confirm that all events or whatever the guidelines are for July and August, we need to make that decision soon. So we're not booking anything new. That's why you don't see any events on the agenda.
Right.
And then we're also at the end of the fiscal year. So we've done a lot of the contractual work. A lot of those projects are already in motion. So we don't have any capital projects or vendor items on the agenda as well. So it's pretty short, but I just wanted to sort of get everyone together to get this pushed ahead. And yeah, it's pretty simple.
Great.
Nick, I got a quick question, Nick.
Yes.
Nice Festival. What's the date on that?
That I believe is like July 7th. That's the following weekend. So I think July 4th, it falls on a Saturday, I believe. And her event isn't until the next weekend. So we're still up in the air about that. But even Nice Festival attracts about 5,000 people, 4,500 people. So I don't think that's going to happen, but we still have not officially made a decision on events beyond July 5th.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Nick, I mean, Madam Chair, I got a quick question. Hey,
Sure.
Yes.
Nick, how's it going with the residents dropping in their boats at Vets? Any issues down there?
No, it's actually been good. The first 2 weekends we opened up just for the marina launchers, and then last weekend we opened it up for all residents to do the daily launching. So right now, again, we are operating on a limited schedule. We're only doing weekends, and I think we were going to go to 4 days a week in the first phase of the reopening plan. So we'll go Thursday through Sunday, which is the majority of when people get out on their boats. And then as the phases increase, we'll extend to what our normal operating hours, which is 7 days a week.
Is it still by appointment only or reservation or whatever? you
No,
got?
that was the only first 2 weekends for marine launches, because we wanted to just have traffic flowing out. If we allowed daily launchers during that time, it would cause a backup with people going out and coming back in. So that's why we did appointments the first 2 weekends. And then from last weekend, it's show and go.
Got it. Thank you.
Anyone else?
We've also started walk-up hours at City Hall, utilizing the tax collector's window. There's 2 officers there, so now we've taken over one to do all of the beach passes in anticipation of reopening the beach. We've started doing admin hours Tuesday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 4:30. And folks who aren't on the grand list can come in and add their vehicles to the list. Or if folks who own property here and cars are registered elsewhere can come in and purchase a pass at the window for the upcoming season. So we're having limited hours to be able to address the needs that are going to come in the first phase of reopening.
What's going on with Cranberry Park? Is that opening next week?
And Nick, that's
No,
changed.
Cranberry Park is open to pedestrians right now. We're going to do vehicle access on May 20th or whenever the first phase is scheduled to begin. But right now we anticipate May 20th.
With a limit on how many people can park in there, or is it just
Yes.
open the gate? Okay.
No, we're going to do the same thing as far as the 50% capacity in the parking lots. And then we're restricting use of certain amenities to try to control the amount of people and the time that people are spending at some of the parks. That way, we have a constant turnover, we don't have the crowds, and it helps cut down the capacity. So that's why you'll see in the phasing of the reopening, even at Calf Pasture, you don't see the bathrooms and the courts and the splash pads, because those are the reasons and those are the amenities that people go to the sites for. So if we reduce some of those things, we'll reduce, hopefully, the capacity at the beach. And again, I think that's one thing that's missing is people don't understand that we're not opening its full operations on May 20th. It's a slow progress through all of the phases to back to normal operating hours.
One more quick question. Are you selling season passes to out-of-town residents?
Yes, that's what the hours downstairs at City Hall is for. So if they're not non-residents, there are no passes for non-residents. Non-residents only can do a daily rate. And again, we've increased the rates this year, as you guys approved earlier. The only thing that we can sell are for property owners whose vehicles are registered outside of Norwalk. That was the whole ordinance change that we made. And we do have hours at City Hall. They can come in and purchase their passes.
Well, that's just for get through this corona, because we were selling season passes to non-residents for Cranberry Park, weren't we?
Yes, if you are one of, there's the agreement and passes. If you are in one of the 5 landlocked towns, yes, we are still selling those as well.
Got it. All right, thank you.
Darlene,
Yes,
may I ask a question?
sure.
Nick, how are they dealing with this issue of the non-resident parking at Calf Pasture? Is someone going to be there that's actually guiding this? And there's been a lot of chatter about how this is being handled.
There's 2 main things. I'll address it real quick, Darlene. There's 2 main things with this whole entire plan that's key. One is communication, and then 2 is enforcement. So along those lines, we're going to have the VMS signs as you come down Beach Road. You'll have one sign that says Norwalk residents only straight ahead. And then you'll have another sign that says non-residents left to Taylor Farm. So there's been a change. There's been a few changes even from the plan that was released yesterday. In the plan, it detailed 150 spaces for non-residents. That's been reduced down to 50. And that designated area that was along the gravel road within CAF has now been relocated over to Taylor Farm. So we've already made some adjustments to it, and that's why I don't want to get too much into the reopening plan, because things are still evolving and changing. If you have any sort of detailed questions or answers that you need, I'd like to do it sort of offline, because again, things are changing so fast. I don't want to say one thing and then we're stuck with it, and then it happens to change the next day.
Is Rex and Parks posting these changes to your social media page and on the website?
Yes, so that change that I spoke about as far as the designated area being relocated and the number, that was a decision that was made earlier today by the mayor's office. I believe it is in Josh's press release that goes out daily. And I think he's also going to mention it on his
Weekly,
city, yes, his town hall meeting, his virtual meeting. But we'll also push all that communication out as we get closer to the 20th. We've been speaking with Josh. I know a lot of the residents will know what's going on, but the biggest issue is the non-residents. And with a lot of them coming from areas, even in New York, how do we get that messaging that far out is something that we're looking at it and trying to figure out, well, how do we do that? We even talked about putting VMS signs, closer as to the ramps when you get off of 95. We're just trying to get that communication and messaging as far out. And as far as police, we will have at least 6 police officers during Memorial Day weekend, and we will have at least 2 police officers daily for the first 2 weeks to help with the social distancing and enforcement. We're not going to staff the guards at the beach to do lifeguarding, but we are going to use them to do just social distancing. And again, we're cutting down on a lot of things that is allowed and not allowed at the beach. So the amenities are closed, but you won't be able to bring in your portable grill. You won't be able to bring in folding tables. We're really trying to limit the things that you can bring in and the amenities that's going to cause people to gather in an area. So we've removed all the picnic tables, removed all of the grills, splash pad will be off, all of those types of things. And again, as we progress through the phases of reopening, you'll get those things back as we go down the road.
Thank you.
No problem.
so Nick, I have a question because I actually ran into Julio Pardo a few days ago. And so he just wanted to know where we were with this whole process with Ryan Park, and particularly the basketball court.
Yep.
Can you give us an update on where that is?
So the last I heard from our legal department, the contract was being developed, and one of the key points that you all approved were that the RDA or the artist, whoever was donating the work, would be responsible for the installation, the maintenance, and the liability. And now the RDA or the housing, neither the RDA or the housing authority now want to take that responsibility. So from our end, we're also not willing to accept it, because if something happens, why are we taking on that responsibility to fix it, maintain it, and the liability? So it's been a stalemate, and I think that our legal department was going to get back with the RDA and the housing authority to work that out. So it's actually just been on hold since all of the COVID stuff started.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem.
Anybody have any other questions? Comments? Wow.
We should just make stuff up just to keep it going.
I know. I feel like this is Q&A with Parks.
Right, right. Well, we've got to adjourn before we do anything else.
Well, I'm gonna say
Huh?
enjoy this right
Okay.
now, because, did I just get cut off?
No, you did not. What did you say?
I was gonna say, enjoy this now, because once it goes back to business as normal, it's gonna be a 5-page agenda.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get ready
God.
for that.
Oh, my God.
I think
When
once
we
we
start.
get through this, everything else should be easier. With all these reopening plans and trying to figure out what's the right thing to do, trust me, events will be easy peasy.
I just want to tell everybody my birthday is tomorrow. So if we all cash at me $20, that would mean that 20, 40, 60, 80.
He said cash
We'll
app.
be all right. So
He
just
said,
send
we're right, we're still in the meeting, thank you. Yeah,
My
yeah,
birthday's
okay.
on Friday, so.
Wow.
it off, everybody.
Keep an eye on your Venmo accounts. I got you both.
Madam Chair, I would like to do a motion to adjourn.
I love it. All in favor?
Uh,
Bye.
Bye.
Opposed, abstentions? Thank you.